Hello and welcome back to the Side by Side Footy Show, where today I will be covering my round 2 tips and predictions. Now, last week I did manage to get 6 out of 9, a few good tips, a few bad tips. Feel free to check out that video to see where I went and how I went for the last week, but not too bad. 6 out of 9, I'll take it. I feel like that sits around the average of what people kind of went with. But moving on to this week, a few good games, a few stinkers, but we'll get right into the tipping. Now, starting us off, we've got the Hawks against the Swans on Thursday night. Now, this one is, look, can the Swans win? Absolutely. Will they win? I'm just going to go unlikely. I think the Hawks just have to, as good as it was beating the Bombers by 62 points or whatever it was, I just think they have to back it up against a good side, right? It's like you can beat the Bombers as well, all in well, but you've got to show up. And at the MCG, the Swans aren't going to be able to move the ball as quickly as compared to what they have been able to at the SCG. Granted, like I said, I can't see the Swans pulling an upset, but I just think the Swans right now can afford a loss. 2 wins back to back, they're in a good spot, whereas the Hawks really need to just show that they're capable of beating a good side, and I just think the Hawks will get it done in the end. I'm going to go the Hawks by 16 points. Moving on, we've got the Crows against the Bulldogs on Friday night. Now, this one should be a really, really good game. 2 heavily contested sides, 2 sides that use the ball well. It's going to be a cracking game. I'm really hoping it's a close game, and I do think it will be. It's at Adelaide Oval, which is probably going to favour the Crows a bit more, but I just think right now the Dogs can't afford to lose the momentum they've got. If they can win this one, they've really announced themselves. The Crows coming off a win against Collingwood, who they've had a big problem beating over the last few years and last many years actually. They finally broke that MCG hoodoo against us as well. So I just think, all in all, who can afford to lose this game? Yes, the Crows are at home, but I just think the Dogs are just too strong and they just look too in form. They might drop off later in the season, that kind of form, but they just look really hot right now, and you don't want to stop that momentum, whether it's home and away. They were able to beat the Lions up at the Gabba, which is a massive win, so I don't see why they can't beat the Crows. So I'm going to go the Dogs by 4 points. I think it's going to be a really close game. The Dogs showing that they can win the close ones away from home. So the Dogs by 4 in this one in the end. Moving on to the Saturday game. First up, we've got the Tigers against the Suns. Now, this one is at the MCG. Of course, it favours slightly the Tigers, but obviously the Suns are just on a rampant run right now, just destroying whatever's in front of them. So obviously I'm going to go with the Suns. This one's not much to say about it. The Tigers do have a good system, but they do turn the ball over a lot. They're not going to be able to keep up with the Suns run, I think, and maybe they'll hold them off for a couple of quarters, but I just think in the end the Suns will run away with it. Nothing too big. I'm going to go with the Suns by 40 points. Next up, we've got the Giants against the Saints. Now, this one is at NG Stadium. Obviously, the Giants and the Saints right now both need to figure themselves out a bit after the Giants get thumped by the Dogs last week. You can say it's a one-off. As for the Saints, 0-2, they haven't won one with all the new recruits. I did think they're going to take time to really sort of gel together with the new recruits and whatnot. So this one, look, I think it's because it's up in Sydney, I just can't see the Saints pulling it off. I think the Saints are going to go off to an 0-3 start. The Giants just have to win after that performance against the Dogs, especially at home. I'm going to go the Giants by, I'm going to go 20 points. I think they'll win convincingly in the end, but it might be a lot closer than that. Could be 10 points, but I'm going to go 20. Next up, we've got Freo against the D's. Now, the D's coming off a very impressive win against the Saints. No one gave them a chance, really, but they managed to pull it off. Unfortunately, this one's at Optus Stadium against a very, very good side in Freo, who just about lost the game against the Cats. Dominated for most of that game, just fell off towards the end, and the momentum swing just was overwhelming. Don't think that the Dockers are going to lose this one. I'm going to go the Dockers by 26 points. Moving up to the Sunday games, we've only got a couple here since 4 teams do have the bye. First up, we've got Port Adelaide against Essendon. This one's at Adelaide Oval. 2 teams that, had a stink of a performance really in the first opening round. So 2 teams that want to show and bounce back, but I think it's more important for Port to win in front of the home crowd. If they can't get a win in front of the home crowd or at least compete, it's going to be big issues. I do think Port are a better side than Essendon, so I'm going to go Port by 17 points. I do think it'll be closer than people think. I think the Bombers will be competitive for big patches and maybe keep it around that 4-5 goal margin. And then, yeah. I'm going to go Power by 17 points in the end. Think the Bombers still have more time to sort of pick up the wins later, but Port just have to get a win after the way they lost to North last week, just to separate themselves from the bottom of the pack. But yeah, Power by 17 points for me in this one. Finally, we've got... Usually it used to be, the wooden spoon kind of game, but we've got the Eagles against North Melbourne. Now, this is up their stadium, so home advantage to the Eagles, but will it really matter in the end? I don't think so. I really think North are going to separate themselves from that bottom 3 or 4 teams this season. So I do think North will get this one done away from home. Eagles could put on a performance. They might see this as an opportunity to win one. But I just think North, they showed a pretty good style of play last week. A lot of experienced players, a lot of youngsters sort of stepping up. I think this is a time for them to really sort of separate themselves from the bottom of the pack, and I think they will do that. I'm going to go North by 28 points. I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything. Just, 4 or 5 goals margin. So North by 28 points. And that's it. That's my predictions for round 2. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you've got tipping. Let me know who you think will win, who are the winners, who are the losers. That's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. God bless and have a great day.